Hello, students. So now we are going to look at the revision time practice 2, the suggested solutions. Hopefully, unlike the first one that we made, there's everything goes fine with the audio and you can hear the explanation as I go through, because I know that some of you will want to have that. Okay, so the first question here, we see a pie chart, right? And when we see pie chart, of course, we know that one round of the pie chart will be 360 degrees. That's one of the first thing that we need to actually take note. And that will correspond with the total number of the subject, in this case, students. So as you can see, we have 200 students here. And the angles, you can find that they actually have some algebraic expressions. So it's fine. So what we need to do now is to actually formulate the equation. That's what the question wants us to do. Okay, so we can do that, right? So just by looking at the pie chart, if we were to add all the angles together, we know that it will be 360 degrees. Therefore, x plus 108 plus x plus 9 plus 4x minus 27. This will be equals to 360, right? So we simplify this, we should get 6x plus 90 equals to 360. That brings us to 6x equals to 270. X equals to 45, right? So that's what x is. So we have our x, right? Now, in the second half of the question, they tell us to actually find out exactly the number of students who take design studies. So we look at design studies. It is over here, 108 degrees. So we know that the angle is proportional to the number of students, right? So 108. So the number of students, let me write it down. Number of students, right? In this case will be 108 over 360 degrees multiplied by the total, which is 200 students, and that will give us 60 students, right? 60. Moving on to the second page. Now in the second page, there's a diagram over here, and they want us to state two obvious errors, right? So of course, we take a look at the equation that was drawn, y equals to 2x minus 3. So this is actually my gradient. This is actually my y-intercept. So by looking at this, we already notice the first issue, right? So the diagram, right, shows a negative gradient when it should be positive. That's the first problem, right? The second problem, of course, is the y-intercept. Okay, the y-intercept should be at, well, it's negative 3, right? So it should be 0, negative 3 instead of, which is 0, 3 is what was actually shown. So this is a two error. Write them in your own words, as long as you can explain that there's an issue with the gradient and there's an issue with the y-intercept. That should be fine, right? Okay, part B. Part B, the equation of the line, they want us to find the equation of the line that passes through this point, right? And it's parallel. So parallel means they have the same gradient. So looking at this, right, we can say that the gradient, okay, is equals to 2. Therefore, y equals to 2x plus c. Now, next we need to find c, right? So when x is equals to 2, y is equals to 15, right? So substitute in 15 equals to 2 times 2 plus c. C equals to 11. Therefore, the equation is y equals to 2x plus 11. There we go. Okay. Part C, State an equation of a line that is perpendicular to the line y equals to 0. So y equals to 0 is a horizontal line. Perpendicular to it, you want a vertical line. So I just need x equals to a constant number. In this case, we just write x equals to 0 or x equals to something, right? That'll be fine. Okay, moving on. Algebra, simplify the following. So the first thing we note is that the denominator are all the same, right? So that will make these things not so confusing. Okay, so what we can do is we can just rearrange them so that the like terms are together, easier to manage. So we have 2x over 5. I can subtract 3x over 5x first, right? All the x are together, plus 3y over 5 minus 2y over 5. Okay, putting them together, we will have a negative x over 5 plus y over 5. Okay, so when you reach this form, it's actually sufficient already, but if you really want to, you can still put them together in this manner, right? It's positive y, negative x. So this is also fine, right? So either case is fine. Okay, so I'll just put the letter over here. Okay, now the next one. This one is just your good old distributive law, right? So we distribute this in, and then we distribute this in, right? So what happened? 3 times x over 3 is x plus 6y. Negative x, negative multiply with negative, give us a positive 6y. Okay, so we will end up with 12y. Right? Okay, so I write 12. Okay, for this next question, working is going to be a bit long. There are actually two parts to it. Okay, we have this portion over here and this portion over here, and we need to actually expand them separately. So for the first type, it is a identity. So maybe I just move a little bit to my left so that I got more space. We have 2p squared minus 2p and q, right, using the special identity, and q squared. So this is for the first expansion. For the second expansion, it's just a good old distributive law. So we will have 3pq minus 3p squared plus q squared minus pq. Then we simplify this. 4p squared minus 4pq plus q squared, right? And then over here is a plus 3pq minus 3p squared plus q squared minus pq. Putting them together, we have 4p squared minus 3p squared. I have p squared, right? How about the pqs? I have negative 4pq plus 3pq is negative 1pq minus 1 more pq. We have minus 2pqs. And then we have q squared plus q squared, so it'll be 2q squared. There we go, right? So we have p squared minus 2pq plus 2q squared. Okay, so for this question, what we're going to do, well, we have one fraction equals to another fraction. Technically, if you know what you're doing, you can actually do cross multiplication. So what it really entails is that we are going to multiply by 21 and multiply by 21. Why 21? Because 21 is actually the LCM of the denominator, 7 and 3. So if you do that, what happens is we will end up with 3x plus 5, right? Which actually looks like just taking the denominator from the opposite side. And that's why we call it the cross multiplication. Okay, 7x minus 2. So we simplify this, expand first. This will give us 7x minus 14. Put them together. This will be negative 4x, right? 3x minus 7x. And then with minus 15 on both sides, minus 29. X will be equals to negative 29 over negative 4, which means x is equals to 7 and a quarter, right? So 7 and 1/4. Okay. Now moving on to the next question. Now this question, the question actually wants us to use algebraic identity. Is there a way to solve this without using the algebraic identity? The answer is yes. Okay. It uses a technique called simultaneous equation. However, that is in your next year's syllabus. You have not learned it, but special identity you have, right? So we will use a special identity. So how do we do this? Well, first of all, we can begin with x squared minus y squared equals to 21, right? So this means it's x plus y times x minus y equals to 21. Now we know that x plus y is equal to 7, right? So this means that this is 7, x minus y equals to 21. So x minus y is equals to 3. Now what we want to do next, because we are interested in xy, how do we get xy? We can just square this thing, right? So you have x minus y, we square this, you have 3 squared. Okay, so what happened? We have x squared minus 2xy plus y squared equals to 9. Now, what happened is we also know, right, that, let me do it on the right side here, x plus y is equals to 7. So if we're going to square this, right, it will just look like this, right? So from here, x squared plus 2xy plus y squared equals to 49. Okay, so here something interesting happened. Let me just mark it out in red so that you can see it. You see this, and we see this, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to call this equation 1, call this equation 2. You need not call them this way, but it's just for convenience sake. So I'm going to take equation 1 minus equation 2. So let me just write it down, 1 minus 2. What happened is this, right? We have x squared minus x squared, okay? So x squared minus x squared, 0. Y squared minus y squared, 0. So we have 2xy minus negative 2xy equals to 49 minus 9, which means 4xy is equals to 40, xy is equals to 10. And that is our solution. Okay, so that's one way we can do this. Now moving on. 1/3 of a number x when added to 14 is less than half of x. So what it means is 1/3 of x when we add it to 14 is less than half of x. So that is what they are looking for. Okay, so we can write it in this way, x over 3 plus 14 is less than x over 2. Now they want us to solve this. So what happened is we have x over 3 plus 14 is less than x over 2. Okay, so what we can do is we can multiply everything by 6. Why 6? Because 6 is the LCM of 3 and 2, right? So I multiply by 6, I will have 2x plus 84, right, is less than 3x. Okay, so from here, if I subtract 2x on both sides, 84 is less than x, so x is greater than 84. Now over here, please do not just write 84, you must write down x is greater than 84, right? Because x is not equal to 84, so you cannot just put 84 in the answer space over there. This is something you need to take note, right? So hence, write down the smallest possible integer that satisfies this. So the smallest integer, it will be the next one after 84. So that will be 85. Okay. Right, moving on. So here we have 2 of the interior angle of a hexagon is x plus 8. Another angle is 3x plus 10, while the remaining angles is 100, right? So what happened? So 2 of them is this. Okay, so 2 of the interior angle is this. 1 more is 3x plus 10. So I've used up 3. I have 3 left, right? So what happened is I have 3 of 100. So this is actually the sum of all the interior angles. And we know that the sum of interior angles is actually 6 minus 2, which gives us the number of triangles, times 180. So that's the equation that we can form. So we simplify this, we get 2x plus 160 plus 3x plus 10 plus 300 equals to 720. Continue to simplify. We have 5x equals to 250, x equals to 50. Okay. Now, part B. Part B, it says that, let me just write down 50 here first. Part B, it says that this is regular. That means all the interior angles are all the same and all the length are the same, right? So, and the angle is, one of the angle is given to us 18 degrees. That's one of the angle inside, right? Find the exterior angle. So what's the exterior angle? Very simple. What happened is, this is the exterior angle, right? And we know that because it's regular, this length is equal to this length, okay, right? So it means that, okay, angle, okay, CBD is actually equals to 18 degrees. The reason is because they are base angles of isosceles triangle. Right? So therefore, exterior angle equals to 18 plus 18 equals to 36 degrees. Okay, because we know that the exterior angle of triangle, exterior angle of triangle is actually equals 2 times opposite interior. It's not 2 times. It's the sum. Let's write it correctly. Sum of opposite interior angles. Okay, so that's a fact, right? So the answer is 36 degrees. And is that the last question? That's the last question. There we go. Hope you have been successful. Have a nice day.